So I will call the License Committee to order for a very brief statement. I understand that we have a new Class 2 license application that has come in from Attleboro Shell Auto Sales. There will be a public hearing next week, and then we'll move on from there. That's really all I wanted to say, and so I will call for an adjournment.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned at 7 o'clock.
I'd like to call Public Works to order at 7 o'clock. I have two motions from the docket of April 4th, 2023. I entertain a motion to authorize the expenditure of $1,204,645.61 and any other future grant amendments into Fund 3108, Chapter 90 products for the purpose of funding Chapter 90 eligible projects as approved by the Massachusetts Department of Transportation.
Second.
Thank you. So these are just our Chapter 90 funds that we received. Does anybody have any questions or anything? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
How does this compare to previous years? I'm curious.
I don't know what last
Point
year's
of order, the motion was already passed.
Okay.
From the docket of April 4th, 2023, I entertain a motion to rescind vote number 6 on March 7th, 2023, to appropriate $24,000 from the Water Enterprise Fund. The vote should have said transfer as opposed to appropriate.
Second.
So that's pretty clear, and there's also another vote for the money that will be in the Finance Committee. Does anybody have any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 7:02.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
And I'd like to call the Finance Committee to order at 7:02. On this committee, it's myself and Councilor Reynolds. And tonight, I'd just like to vote out one item, and that's from the docket of April 4th, 2023. I entertain a motion to authorize the Attleboro School Department to pay these previous year's school bills totaling $4,857.24 from fiscal year '22. Name of it, and I'll read the name of the vendor, the amount, the department, and the reason. It's Rick's Musical Instruments for $458. The department is Quello. The reason is no PO was encumbered. And then Rick's Musical Instruments, $60. Quello, no PO was encumbered. Rick's Musical Instruments, $67.89. Quello, no PO was encumbered. Henry Shine, $255. CTE, fiscal year '22, PO was closed prematurely. Henry Shine, $833.75. CTE, fiscal year '22, PO was closed prematurely. UMass Medical, $3,182.60. Special Education, fiscal year '22, PO wasn't encumbered for enough, for a total of $4,857.24.
Second.
Motion is in order, and this is just to pay a previous year school bill totaling $4,857.24. Any questions? Councilor Dolan.
I don't have one regarding this, but if I could ask you a question before you close your committee.
Okay. So hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Councilor Dolan.
I have a question. What I just read about the water money, that was for, oh my goodness, insurance? Does anybody remember, I think, we had to rescind this vote and then it was assigned to Rick? Can anybody clarify for me?
Are you talking about what you just voted out of your committee?
To rescind the vote, yes, and then there was an...
Where it's already voted out, your meeting's been closed, what we should do is look at it over the course of this next week, and then we can discuss that aspect on the floor. Where it's already been voted on, voted out of committee, the committee's already closed. we shouldn't be discussing it. So we can find it and we can talk about it in full council next week when it comes up.
Yeah, I was talking about not in my committee, in Rick's committee. So, if I recall correctly, I'm trying to find it, that it was in my committee to rescind it, and then to appropriate, to transfer the appropriate money was in Rick's. That's what I remember.
I don't
I'm
see
trying-
that. What we can do is discuss with Virginia when she's back tomorrow, but again, I still caution where we voted it out already. We shouldn't be entertaining discussion on it at this point. We can certainly find that where it is.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have that here. So, yeah, okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion's in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:05.
Good evening. Transportation and traffic is canceled for this evening. And I'd like to call ordinances, elections, and legislative matters to order at 7:05. All present this evening are just myself and Councilor Holmes for the committee. I have two motions to bring this evening, and then a couple of motions I just want to discuss briefly with the anticipation that we'll do further discussions in 2 weeks at the next committee meetings. From the docket of April 4th, 2023, I entertain a motion to transfer $5,100 from account 1124100-578-300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 11621000-527-014 Elections Rental High-Speed Tabulator to process vote-by-mail ballots for the 2024 presidential primary.
Second.
Thank you. So the Elections Department is preparing for what they're anticipating to be a busy presidential and state elections for 2024. So this is to help them to more quickly count the mail-in ballots, which have become very popular over the last couple of election cycles. The use of the high-speed tabulator was discussed and voted on by the Board of Election Commissioners on March 14th. So that's current, and the tabulator is going to be purchased through an approved vendor, approved by the Elections Division and Secretary of State's office. Are there any questions or other discussion on this for this evening? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. From the docket of April 4th, 2023, I entertain a motion to appropriate $30,440 from account 1000-359-000, undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government, to the following accounts for the purpose of one or more special municipal elections in fiscal 2023.
Second. Oh, or do you want to read
Oh,
them?
should I read them all out?
I would, yes.
I'll read them out. 1162100-511500 salaries elections $16,380. 1162100-530910 printing and reproduction $5,000. 1162100-530101 professional services $3,500. 1162100-531020 police at polls $4,700. And 1162100-542020 supplies elections equipment $860. Additionally, any unspent funds from the special election on February 28, 2023 will be used for the upcoming special election.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, are there any questions? No? All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. And we have a couple of items that are pending, and I just want to make sure that with the change in personnel, and I know Councilor Conti's not here this evening, it's one of the reasons I'd like to push these off for 2 weeks to make sure that we can all discuss these. The first one is the stormwater management ordinance proposed change, which we heard from Gary Arazian at the public hearing last week. And we had some questions, and I would like to get some answers first on the amendment. It would be paragraph 6. And the language that disturb less than 1 acre of land versus yeah, that disturbed less than 1 acre of land in both 6.1 and 6.2, to make sure that that is really what he intends for that to say. I think there were some questions. Yes.
Just a reminder, the public hearing's still open on that.
Oh, that's right.
So, I believe Gary has reached out to some of the folks in his circle who's provided some clarification, and I believe he'll be back on next Tuesday. I believe we continue to the
Perfect.
4th.
Okay, great. So hopefully we'll get some answers to that particular point to make sure we get that correct. And the other one is the revisions to the ordinance proposal for the Sustainability Commission. And I'm still sort of doing a comparison. I'm not sure if others are still looking at that as to where we started to kind of where we are now. But I'd like to give everyone a couple of weeks to really take a good look at the changes that now Mayor DeSimone had proposed, and to really kind of wrap your heads around what that did in light of the comments that we got back in terms of being concerned about the powers of the commission and sort of making sure that we have the right balance struck. So I'd ask the committee to take a close look at the language here and just be prepared to discuss that in a couple of weeks so we can move that item. Otherwise, that concludes the business of ordinances, elections, and legislative matters committee for this evening. I move to adjourn at 7:11.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
IT and infrastructure is canceled for tonight.
Zoning and Land Use Committee is canceled this evening. Reporting for city property, no, I'd like to call to order.
7-Eleven.
At 7:11, the City Property and Claims Committee. From the docket of April 4th, 2023, I entertain a motion to accept the donation of 6 Acer rubrum, which are red maple trees, valued at approximately $215 each, for a total of $1,290 from developer Mr. Fred Bottomley, in accordance with Section 1-2 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro. I hereby request your honorable body accept these generous donations to the City of Attleboro.
Second.
Thank you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, and a big thanks, shout out to Mr. Fred Bottomley. Any other questions or concerns?
That's great.
Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that motion passes. Let me just see. Okay, and that is all the business City Property and Claims Committee has this evening. And I would like to call for an adjournment.
Second.
Thank you, and we will be adjourned at 7:13.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
All right, reporting for Personnel, Veterans, and Uses Committee, called to order at 7:13. Council is present, Council Waterman, Council Blair. All right, from the docket of April 4th, 2023, I entertain a motion to transfer $31,000 from account 6100-578300, Water Enterprise Fund, Reserve Fund for transfer to the following to cover the remainder of FY '23, $20,000 to account 6100-517120, Water Enterprise Fund, Health Insurance HMO, $11,000 to account 6100-517125, Water Enterprise Fund HMO 500 Personnel.
Second.
Thank you, sir. So this is basically, there was new hires during the year, and this is to cover the health insurance for the new hires.
This is the motion I was talking about. This is the motion I thought went to Rick, so I rescinded my vote initially. So this is the motion that I couldn't find in the motions to correct the one I rescinded. So I thought I was losing my mind, but I'm glad it's there, and I'm glad we're passing it tonight. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, all those in favor, or any more questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. All right, from the docket of April 4th, 2023, I move to approve the, nope, skip that, sorry. Skip that one. All right, from the docket of April 4th, 2023, no vote needed. For your information, I'd like to inform your honorable body that I have extended the appointment of Recreation Director Dennis Walsh, Acting Director of Council on Aging, for additional 90 days. All right, from the docket,
Wait a second.
yep, I'm sorry. That's an FYI, sorry. Yeah,
I know, but I'd like to make a comment on
absolutely.
the
I
FYI.
appreciate that.
I just want to personally thank Dennis for stepping up to the plate. This is twice he's done it in the last few years. He took over the park department, worked for the Bubble for almost a year, and this is another one of working for the Bubble for the good of the city. He puts in his 60, 70 hours a week, every week between those two jobs. So I think he deserves to be commended for that.
Couldn't agree more. And you know, he's getting things done, he's taking care of people, and he's there for anybody that has any questions or needs any help.
Well, it's long hours that I don't think, it's above and beyond the call of duty is what it is. So he should be recognized for that.
Counselor Angelo, President Delicio has a
sorry.
comment.
Thank you. Yes, so first of all, I want to echo Councilor Blair's sentiments about Dennis. Dennis is stepping up to fill an important role. I know there was some concern about this being similar to a situation we had a couple years ago with another department head in a similar situation. The difference and why we don't need a vote, as I understand it, is because this is another temporary appointment with no intention of this becoming permanent. So that's why we don't need the vote on that. Where in the other situation that people are thinking about, that was while we were hammering out some of the concerns, questions that we had as that was leading to a permanent. This is Dennis stepping in, filling a gap for 90 days with the hope that in that time we're able to find the permanent replacement.
All right, thank you, President Delicio. Any other?
I just want to echo what Peter said. He's done a terrific job down there. There's no better way I can say that. And he's given all the time that is needed, and it's a big job down there. And then he comes back to his real job. He does that. So.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Dennis Walsh. From the docket of April 4th, 2023, entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Melinda J. Quat, 384 South Main Street, as a member of the planning board to fill an unexpired term to expire February 2026. Second. Well, Melinda has previously been on the planning board for 20 years, so she's very well known, has done a really good job. I mean,
She's coming back.
she's coming back, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why I made the decision not to bring her in front of the committee, because she's been here, she's done it for 20 years. We all know her body of work, and she's done some great work over the years for 20 years, so.
We're lucky to get somebody to come back with that experience.
Exactly. And she's got her finger on the pulse on a lot of stuff, so any other questions? President Delicio.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited to see this come down. I think Melinda brings a breadth of experience that's needed on the planning board, especially with some of the business that's in front of the planning board, as well as that's going to be coming in front of us. Her experience is second to none. She brings a level of institutional knowledge, which has been missed since she's left. So to see her come back is encouraging, to say the least. And she's just going to add that experience to a planning board that's already doing great work.
Absolutely, thank you. Any other questions, comments? No. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, from the docket of April 4th, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve the MOA for the 2022-2023 winter season between city and local 1144 Labor's Union, and approve the appropriation of $54,000 from account 1000-359000 undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account 1423-1000-519921 snow ice removal, snow participation, personnel, sorry.
Second.
All right, thanks. All right, so basically, these were a bonus to get employees on board, along with contractors, to get them on board. As we know, it was a mild winter, but it was still promised contractually at the beginning of the year, because it's been difficult to get people to want to sign up for plowing and to get contractors to sign up for plowing and stuff. So not knowing what the weather was going to be like, it's something that they needed to do, and so this is just to take care of that contract. President Delicio.
Thank you, yes. So, thank you for that explanation, just a little bit more context behind it. This particular union doesn't have a new contract, so we're in negotiations. The contract is still good through the end of this fiscal year. As part of it, as you said, we're struggling to find people to plow. Contractors are getting paid. Other unions were getting this, so I was able to work with the union, with Dan Brown, in order to get this taken care of for the storm in February and the one in March, which was helpful. So glad to see this come down and come to fruition.
Awesome. Thank you, President Delicio. Any, Councilor Blair?
One more question, Jay, you may be able to answer that. This is for this past year, correct?
This fiscal year.
Physical year.
Fiscal, yep.
Yeah.
So anything along these lines would have to be revoted next year?
I think that I think the hope would be that it would be taken into consideration as part of the next contract negotiations.
I myself would rather see a raise to that group rather than single them out as a bonus. But
This is to
that's not my
Right, but this is to bring them in line with what other bargaining units already had in this contract for this current fiscal year.
We had other departments that got a bonus for plowing?
Bargaining units, different than departments, bargaining units.
That's hard. Yeah,
Well, there are other contracts that have been settled,
yeah.
and this one hasn't been settled yet, which is part of the, it's normal. It's normal this
yeah,
time of year,
right,
right?
I
That's
know.
why, this contract they have currently is good through the end of the year, but this just brings a little bit of parity to this situation right now.
All right, thank you for your explanation.
Of course.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. All right, from the docket of April 4th, 2023, I entertain a motion to amend Article 54, uniform clothing allowances as described in the personnel rules and regulations for exempt employees to add deputy building inspector and solid waste manager. Funding is not required in fiscal year 2023.
Second.
All right, Peter, thank you, sir. Sorry.
14.
Oh, was it 14? Sorry, Article 14, God. All right, so basically, this is for the positions we added on, so they can get the clothing allowances, and this will take care of that, so they can get that done. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. All right, I think that's it. I'm sorry. Okay. From the docket of February 21, 2023, on January 3rd, 2023, your honor body voted to add position of inspector of buildings and city facilities manager to the exempt classification plan. As such, section 3-1.1, building in the revised ordinance of the city of Attleboro needs to be amended by inserting the following. In addition, in the mayor's discretion, the mayor may add to the inspector of buildings duties, management of facilities, maintenance and repair issues for city-owned buildings, in which case the position of inspector of buildings shall be titled the inspector of buildings and city facilities manager and classified in the manner and on the terms set forth in the classification plan.
Second.
All right, thank you, sir. Basically, this is just taking care of covering that position, inspector of buildings, facilities manager, and just taking care of some words.
I just want to say that I think this is long overdue. I mean, we've been talking about this for a while, and I got in on this as well with former city councilor DeSimone to make sure that buildings, actually, we start doing maintenance of them as they start to wear down, instead of when they're finally out of commission. And, you know, I think we've all talked about this over the years, and I'm really happy that we're finally at this point and we're bringing it forward.
Council Blair?
I thoroughly go along with this. I've said for 24 years, don't buy it if you can't maintain it. And that goes right along with our buildings. I know Bill will do a good job. My only hope is it isn't too much on his shoulders. So, it's long overdue, long overdue. We needed this a long time ago.
Yeah.
And my only worry is that I hope it's not too much of a burden on that department.
Well, it
Well, we
has-
did bring the person in. We
And
did
it,
bring
yeah,
another
and it
person.
has been worded as, they can decide at a later time that if it's too much, then they can separate the positions and then continue from there. So it is kind of worded that such. And he's already been doing this already for a little while now, and this will dot the i's, cross the t's, and now he can actually start getting paid for all the extra work that he's putting in. Any other questions?
No.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. All right, that, call for adjournment at 7:26.
Second?
Second. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned at 7:26.
Kelly up next?
No, I
She
think
did
he's
it.
all set.
Kelly did.
You all set?
So it's yours.
Okay. I'd like to call Public Safety Committee to order at 7:26. I have three motions tonight. First motion from the docket of April 4th, 2023. I entertain a motion to appropriate $24,000 from account 1000-359,000, undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government, to account 12101-000-515040, police professional training, to pay field training officers stipends per a union contract.
Second.
So this is contractual. It's not a lot of money, but it is money, and they got it coming, so it's contractual. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Let me see. I had, from the docket of April 4th, 2023, I entertain a motion to appropriate $80,000 from account 1000-359,000, undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government, to account 12101-000-51300, police overtime, for overtime funds due to the 26 parole officer vacancies. Now, okay, thank you. Let me explain that. The way it reads, you'd think we're down 26 people over there, but we're not. Over the past 13, 14 months, that's how many officers have come on, left, and created the need for overtime. And I'd like to commend Kyle for being able to handle it and only ask for $80,000. Last year, FY '22, there was a $520,000 line item for overtime, right? This year, FY '23 was $260,000. So Kyle's coming up, he figures $80,000 short to finish the year out. So I'd like to commend him for being able to do that with such a traffic flow through that department, in, out, transfers, not being able to complete the program and go to the academy. It's been a real challenge. And I'd like to thank George Rhodes, and I don't thank him much, right? But he did a hell of a job with that article that was in the paper, if you had a chance to read it. the problems we have hiring, maintaining offices, and the cost and frustration that comes out of that office. I think George spent over 2 hours with him on that. And I think it was right on. I read it and I said, wow, you know? I mean, I knew what was going on, and a few of us on this council knew what was going on. But it was good that the general public gets a shot at it. I've been working to try to get the Quinn bill reenacted over there. We've got to help that department so this doesn't happen. We've got one of the best in the state. Let's not ruin it by holding back a few dollars. I'm looking forward, and I'm advocating for it, lobbying for it, or whatever you want to call it, that Quinn bill gets reenacted. There's a line item in the budget already. So I think it's time we fund it. We spend a lot of money up here, and that Quinn bill would save us money in the long run. I'll get off my soapbox with that. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Councilor Blair. So just to add on, so as you said, Chief Hegney is one who'll look to transfer amongst his own accounts first before coming and asking for more money. That 26 number includes a lot of different fluctuations in terms of, there are times where his overtime might only be $4,000, a week. Then there might be times, depending upon retirements, depending upon vacation, illness, vacancies, where it goes up to $12,000, $15,000. It's those ebbs and flows which makes it difficult. But the fact, to your point, that it is only $80,000, where we are struggling to retain good offices. I think you're right. You were promised the Quinn bill, and that never came to fruition. I think we need to keep on that. We need to be able to continue to offer the incentives to keep the good police officers here, as well as the firefighters and other city workers as well. So kudos, and I agree, George, well done. I think that you've really encapsulated what the crux of the issue is, and I think it's up to this honorable body to make sure that we keep this front of mind.
Yes, and the other thing I'd like to get squared away before I leave this honorable body, which is in the near future, right? I'd like to see the hiring practice on the police department changed. And that is through our civil service, which is antiquated, it's terrible, it makes cities and towns like ours in a bad position when it comes to hiring. When we have to hire people from the other side of Boston to work out of that station here, it's not right. Local people need to be hired, or at least in the local area. When I first come on, you couldn't work for police and fire if you lived outside of a 15-mile radius from this building. Now, that's long gone. If you're on that civil service list and you're up at the top, you got a shot of being hired in Attleboro. And that only leads to a person gets hired, we pay for him to go through the academy. It costs us over $100,000 to put a guy on the street by himself. So I would like, in my tenure that's left, I would like to see something done with that civil service. And I've started some inquiries on how that civil service got enacted in Attleboro and how we can straighten it out. We have 2 representatives in Boston, and I'll only play one, right? Our senator that represents Attleboro has had a bill sitting on his desk that Kathleen and I put forward, and it's been sitting there 2 years plus with no action, just asking for a hometown petition to let us hire differently. We didn't send it in to abandon civil service. We sent it in to adjust it, to give us the opportunity to compete and hire better. So that's the second thing I'd like to see done before I leave these hollowed halls. Thank you. Okay,
They just need to vote on it.
yeah, we vote on the $80,000 for overtime. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passed. Thirdly, I entertain a motion to approve expending of such funds in any future grant amendments regarding the receipt of emergency management performance grant to the Attleboro Fire Department from the Massachusetts Energy Management Agency, MEMA, in the amount of $20,150.
Second.
I believe this can be used in a lot of different ways, but the feedback we're getting is that he's gonna use it for computers, a couple engines or whatever, so to enhance them. And they need to be enhanced because a lot of these guys don't know where the center of Attleboro is from where Bishop Street is. So anything you can give them the opportunity to be able to punch in an address and know where they're going, you know, that's a great thing. And that's a problem when we hire guys from Roxbury. Thank you. I have no other business this evening, but I'd like to
You
vote
need to
on
vote.
that.
Vote,
Yeah. I'm getting a little carried away. I'm a little uptight tonight, as your fellow councilmen can probably tell, but I'm getting frustrated myself. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much to my fellow councilmen for putting up with me tonight. There'll be a lot more times before January 1st.
Councilor Waterman, can you cancel the Senior Tax Abatement Committee, please?
Yes, the Tax Abatement Committee is canceled this evening, and we meet at the next appropriate time.
And Councilor Angelo.
Special Committee on Classification Compensation is canceled tonight, and we call for meeting at the next appropriate time.
That's it. Have a good night, everyone.
Wrap.